This week's Very Kooky Countdown, we're off and racing with wife carrying in China, bounding bridezillas in New York. Yum yum, there's nothing like a hot dog or 60. We'll cover high heel racing to soapbox racing. All that and lots more coming up on a Very Kooky Countdown. Welcome to our racing spectacular of a Very Kooky Countdown. And let's kick it off at number 10 in the hustle and bustle of New York's Times Square. Here comes the bride. Sorry, should I say brides? 10 brides, in fact, took their chance to scale great heights to win not only the glory of walking all over the other bridezillas, but they all have the chance at winning $25,000 cash to put towards their dream wedding. The gathering to help celebrate the anniversary of the US hit TV show Bridezillas, a reality TV program that shows just how wonderful and friendly these gorgeous young ladies really can be in the lead up to their big day. And they're off. Well, they're not really. They all look quite nice in their dresses and veils. She's made it! Wow, that looked too easy for Megan Gressler, who was the clear winner, while other competitors struggled attempting to scale the frosting-covered slide. Megan was asked what her secret was to cleaning up the entire field and shooting to the top so quickly.
I didn't have a plan, but I just took off in the running and hoped that I could get ahead running because I knew the wall was going to be slippery, so I guess it worked.
Our winner also went on to say how she plans on wearing the white helmet on her real wedding day, as it will save her a fortune in hairstyling costs.
I don't know if I would do it again, but I would definitely recommend it to other brides because it's really fun. The whole day was fun, even the competition, so it's a good time.
Now with all that cash, it's off to the salon and the dry cleaners. At number 9 on our kooky racing countdown, it's wife carrying in China. What a happy couple. That is, until he realises what competition his wife has entered him into. 15 happy couples from Hong Kong took part in the city's first wife-carrying competition, just in time for Valentine's Day. The wife-carrying tradition originates in ancient Finland, where bandits stole women from neighbouring villages. This proved popular among these participants in Hong Kong, where all the boys were keen to sweep their women off their feet, literally. Eventual winners Michael and Cora Fung, fittingly dressed as Superman and Wonder Woman, said such piggybacking, like marriage, had its challenges.
The most difficult thing was it was a bit heavy and balancing on the beam was quite tricky. It was exciting.
Hundreds of curious onlookers in the busy shopping centre watch the men, some wearing superhero and Chinese wedding costumes, dash over obstacles and scoop up roses from pink heart-shaped balloons, all in the name of love.
If we have any arguments, the most important thing is to be understanding. But my husband really supports me.
The couple went on to discuss their training regime, which included lots of piggyback rides around the house, a strict carb-free diet, along with a trip to the local costume shop to be kitted out as superheroes for today's event. Wife-carrying championships are held all over the world. As you'll see later, wife-carrying championships generally mean carrying the wife in the quickest time over a specified distance. But these championships in Hong Kong are slightly different, where the wife has to bend down and pick up things like heart-shaped balloons, roses, socks and washing, just like being at home, really. Congratulations again, Mr. and Mrs. Fung. Enjoy that trophy, fake check and trip to Thailand. And seeing all these photographers just turned up, say cheese. Our 8th most kooky race takes us to Russia, where these beautiful young ladies get ready to face off on the track, wearing their highest heels. More than 100,000 rubles were up for grabs as these legs And all these legs prepared to run in their high heels to win the cash in the Glamour sprint race. Onlookers had the chance to enjoy the unusual process of athlete preparation. Entrants in the Glamour high heels sprint race had to wear regulation high heels. That height some women struggle to walk in, some find it bearable, and some comfortable enough to sprint in them.
I have never participated in any contest or competition before, and I decided that such an extreme event in summer is exactly what I need. I thought it would be great to test myself, to participate in this extreme show.
They're racing in the annual high heel Glamour race. High heels, high odds, and a high degree of difficulty. Look at them run.
The girls wearing shoes on high heels running after something, after their goal, which might be anything, any beautiful object, a handsome man, possible career or anything else, have become an image of our times. The girls on high heels running to parties, to work, it's an image of our time and the style of modern life.
I think he means he likes this event. Luckily for the girls, organisers ensured the competitors' health, as the girls were mostly busy with their looks, athletes' outfit and photographers. The winner, Svetlana Martinova, had all the moves. In at number 7 on the Kooky Countdown, more than 80 couch potatoes dragged themselves away from the television for a chance to win concert tickets in this Portuguese sofa race. The high-tech sofas were equipped with wheels and a brake. What? A brake? As they raced around the city streets. It was a festival-like atmosphere as the music and sunshine drew hundreds from their sofas to cheer on these furniture racing fanatics. There were a number of speed trials, including lining the racers up in boxes where they pushed the sofas, ramming around their teammates. Visually, the race was spectacular, though it was hard to call as the sofas and competitors all looked the same. Not even the worst performing team went home empty-handed. All the challengers were given tickets to their favourite Rock in Rio concerts, but only the 2 best teams could earn the best seats in the house. Of course, those seats would have to be sofas. However, if you're watching this and thinking this is a great armchair sport where you can experience the thrills and spills of racing, but at the same time enjoy the comfort of your armchair, think again. Injury awaits just around the next corner.
The circuit was okay, but a sofa ran over my foot at that curve over there. Anyway, I managed to finish the race with great effort and we achieved the runner-up position, our main goal.
The winners thought it was all well worth the effort, though a little exhausting. Time now for a nice cup of tea and a sit-down in front of the telly on their winning sofa. After watching Megan the Bride clean up the field earlier in our show, this story is even cleaner. At 6th spot on our very kooky countdown racing special, what cleaner sport could you find in the world than bathtub races? As a large crowd looked on in amazement at Kempsey, Bavaria's largest lake, they noticed that there weren't too many bathtubs racing in the annual Bathtub Spectacular. It seems that someone has changed the rules. In the old days, the only rule was that you had to race in a real bathtub. That doesn't seem to be the case today, and it seems the only tradition that's been upheld is that in this event, anything goes, so long as it doesn't go with a motor. Rubber boats, rafts, canoes are all allowed to take part on the condition that they are decorated with a theme.
We were a bit worried when we saw the Pirates' big boat compared to ours. But it was okay. It raced. It didn't sink, thank goodness.
The gummy bears may have had their day today, but I'll be back, bigger and more fearsome than ever before for next year's race. Now to find out where to get me one of those bright pink gummy bear outfits. I'm sure me crew will love it. Staying in Germany, and let's keep with the clean racing theme, as contestants have to build the fastest and funniest racing machine in our number 5 position on our Kooky Countdown. Contestants then compete in a cutthroat series of races to find the soapbox champion of the world, or at least of Leipzig. Look out, here's one for the vegetarians. Is that a giant zucchini or a cucumber coming through?
We've participated for 9 years now, and last year we decided to build one together. Then we sat together about 3 weeks ago and did all the planning, and we finished early this morning.
They say this race has no winners or losers, just lots of competitors that enjoy heaps of fun building and racing their crazy contraptions. Under glorious German sunshine, thousands of cheering spectators enjoy a great family day out as they line the course along the downward slope of the Fockerberg, an artificial pile of rubble left after World War II. There were heaps of different types of soapbox races, from pushing the machines uphill, downhill, and with the aid of a ramp. There was also the time trial on top of the Fockerberg Peak. The sport of soapbox racing started in the US back in the 1930s and was soon a popular pastime across America. Of course, with this type of racing, there are no licenses, so that means lots of crashes. Today, the sport is more active across Europe, with competitors building high-tech machines out of modern materials, including aluminium and carbon fibre, the kind of machines competitors don't want to crash. The name soapbox comes from the early carts that were made from wooden soap or orange crates. In this sport, brakes are an optional extra. This machine looked like an engine, and of course the only rule of soapbox racing is that you can't have an engine. The judges still can't decide whether this racer breaks the rules, but as you can see, it seems to take more people to push this thing along than any other. Clear the way, coming through. Is that a lady with a pram or a soapbox racer? Uh-oh, is that a speed camera? Oh, busted. Your speeding ticket will be in the mail soon. Ah, here comes the Hindenburg. Hopefully, for everyone's sake, this one doesn't crash. At number 4 on our Kooky Countdown, it's time to jump into bed and hit the road in this crazy German bed race. Whether it was single, double, queen or king, all beds were themed and could be man or machine powered. Hundreds of spectators gathered in the German town of Friedersdorf to watch 18 beds and their creators race against each other in the annual event. This year's motto was fast, crazy and original, and it sure did entertain the crowd, with many cheering and others simply laughing as the beds flew past. Race organisers conceded that over the years, the notion bed was sometimes not taken too seriously. According to the official guidelines, what really counts is originality, craziness and speed. This race sure lived up to that. Even though this is a race, speed accounted for only 20% of the overall score, with 40% of points going towards the originality and crazy components. Organisers were happy with the entrant and crowd turnout and said that everyone had a great fun day.
There are 18 beds racing this year, which will take off under the motto of fast, crazy and original. Every team created their best bed based on a specific topic, which they chose themselves, whether it be engine-powered or muscle-powered.
There was also a fire-breathing dragon spotted riding his bike in the race. What's this? A bed race or a wheelbarrow race? Maybe it's just some crazed gardeners dressed in their night clothes looking for the veggie patch. In this event, it's not just speed that counts, but each bed has to complete the course in less than 9 minutes. Any stunts must be performed on the racetrack between the start and finish line. At the end of it all, it looks like for these races, it's time for a good night's rest. At number 3, this story comes with a warning that some scenes here may make you feel ill. It may also make you feel like eating hot dogs. It's the Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest, held each year on Coney Island in New York City. With $10,000 cash up for grabs, it was time to pig out as competitors stuffed their faces for their shot at the cash. American Joey Chestnut successfully defended his champion status, winning the competition by downing 64 hot dogs and buns in a competition that stretched into a first ever overtime. Defending champion Chestnut of the USA again defeated 6-time champion Takuri Kobayashi of Japan. In the lead-up years, Kobayashi won the contest 6 straight times, but lost the title in an upset to Chestnut last year. The winner receives the cash plus a mustard yellow belt and a year's supply of hot dogs from Nathan's, which is probably the last thing they'd want after swallowing all those hot dogs. Even though this was the first time in the event's history that overtime was required, organisers said they were very relieved the event didn't have to go to its first ever penalty shootout. The small Coney Island hot dog stand started in 1916 and now sells food products globally, and this competition attracts more than 35,000 spectators each year. Competitors in this event were represented with all shapes and sizes, big and small, young and old. After stuffing themselves with 57 hot dogs, there's room for just a couple more in the time left. Looks like we have a tie. Tied at the end of the regulation 10 minutes forced a sudden death overtime to determine which man could eat 5 more hot dogs in the shortest time. Now, into the first ever hot dog overtime. Look at them go. Eventually, the winner is clear, only just. American Joey Chestnut. 5 more hot dogs and the title is his. Ugh. While normally the winner of a major event like this would feel like a bit of a celebration right about now, Joey Chestnut looks like he'd rather sit down for a bit and feel sorry for himself. He certainly looks a bit queasy. After the competition, Joey Chestnut said he was happy to beat Kobayashi, who he says is a formidable challenger. Kobayashi wasn't too disappointed.
I was scared. Yeah, he's an amazing eater, and he pushes me to do things I normally wouldn't do.
Because it was so close, I should feel worse about the result. But actually, I feel like I did all I could and did the best that I could.
This hot dog managed to survive the day without being stuffed down someone's throat. It seems New York is the place for kooky racing, as we go from hot dog eating to racing waiters. Number 2 in the kooky racing countdown sees crowds lining the streets to cheer on the fastest table waiter in a celebration of American and French national days, called New York City's Liberty Festival. They don't look like they're in much of a hurry though. Waiter, service! There were plenty of hilarious antics, with 15 waiters from Scandinavia flying in especially to compete against some of New York City's finest waiters. And it was all over just like that. The rules are simple: to finish the race without pushing fellow contestants, spilling a drop from the bottle of wine, or knocking over the French fries on the tray. The winner was 22-year-old Swede Celine Gardner, who flew in from Stockholm to compete. She won prizes including a skydiving voucher and her body weight in champagne. Now there's some excess baggage costs on the flight home. Gardner had recently won the waiter race in central Stockholm, Sweden, where she works at a Spanish restaurant. She was quite humble about her success.
Well, you just have to concentrate a little bit, I guess. We haven't really prepared for it like trained, but it's what you do every day. You just walk a little stranger.
Festival organiser Philippe Lejeune said the festival had a special meaning.
The Liberty Festival celebrates the friendship between two countries, France and America. The Statue of Liberty, here next to us, symbolises that friendship.
Aside from the waiters' race, which is the biggest draw for the crowds, Can-Can dancers brought a touch of France to the streets of Manhattan to celebrate Bastille Day. Waiter! And in our #1 spot on the kookiest racing countdown, it's cheese rolling. It's rough and tumble, and contestants from across the globe travel to Cooper's Hill in Brockworth, Gloucestershire, to race downhill in an attempt to catch a giant wheel of cheese.
It felt a bit rougher coming down this year. I've certainly done no damage or anything, but it felt rougher because, I don't know, I managed to stay on my feet pretty well actually. I was quite surprised at that.
The women's race winner said she was very happy just to keep her feet. What's this? That's a fall or two for sure.
No bruises, no scratches. All right.
And no injuries at all?
No.
What was your technique?
Just try to stay on my feet as long as I could.
A huge crowd of around 3,000 people cheered, laughed and winced as the daredevil athletes pursued the double Gloucester cheese. Even celebrities turned out to see the event, even though it was only as a spectator.
It's a lot more violent than I expected. People hurling themselves down this precipice and following the cheese, which I think smacked somebody in the face over there. So it's the ambulances are quite wise to be on standby because it is very violent.
This unusual event has been celebrated for centuries and is thought to have its roots in a heathen festival to celebrate the return of spring. There's certainly some spring in these competitors' steps.
A bit sore neck, otherwise perfect. Better than breaking my ankle last year.
That competitor did go on to say that it was all well worth it.
Very good year, I think. A bit damp, and I think that has helped with the injuries. I think because the ground is soft, we've probably had less injuries than we would if the ground is hard.
The competition consists of 5 downhill races, with the winner of each race receiving a 7 to 8 pound circle of cheese, though it's possibly not that good to eat after rolling and bouncing down the hill. Thrills and spills guaranteed in this, our #1 kooky racing event. See you next time for another very kooky countdown.